Hi, my name is Kara Stolle. I'm principal bassoonist of the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra, and I'm also professor of bassoon here at DePaul University. Many of you are preparing for the Indiana All-State auditions coming up here in January of 2020. And I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks to help you practice and prepare for a successful audition. When preparing each of these etudes, it's important to focus on consistency in tone, pitch, and tempo, while also correct notes and articulation and dynamics. The first etude is the technical etude, and it comes from the Weissenborn Practical Method for Bassoon. It's number 11, and it's marked at quarter note equals 120. It's also marked vivace. Vivace does not mean super fast. It means lively. So we want to make sure that this is not only a technical etude, but it's also executed very musically. So I want you to take a tempo where you can be really consistent with your musical aspects, consistency in tone, pitch, tempo, correct notes, articulation, and dynamics, and really accurate rather than fast and sloppy. It's important to focus on tone with each of your etudes. There are a number of half-hold notes in this etude specifically: F sharp, G natural, and G sharp. If you hear a lot of cracking in your tone on those notes, check to make sure you're using enough half-full. If your A's, B's, and C's in the top of the staff are also cracking in tone, you might want to utilize the flicking or venting in order to produce a clear tone. I'm going to demonstrate a few ways that you can practice this etude to work on increasing your speed without losing musical consistency. First, we're going to play it straight and slowly. Now we're going to play the skeleton. I'm going to remove the second and fourth 16th notes so we can hear the melody in the line. Now I'm going to add the 16th notes back in, but be sure that you don't clip the second of each two-note grouping. The tendency when I hear this etude often performed is for that note to be clipped, which then the space gets filled in and people tend to rush this etude. So we want to focus on the line that I just played with the skeleton, and we're going to add those notes in and keep each note a full 16th note value. The next step is we are going to alter the rhythm for practicing purposes. First, we will play a dotted 8th, 16th note rhythm. Now I'm going to reverse that rhythm, and I'm going to play a 16th, then a dotted 8th. Now I'm going to put this to practice with a longer phrase that's not broken up with the 8th note pattern. I'll be working with measures 13 through 15, and we're going to apply the same rhythms plus an additional grouping of rhythms, so that way we can work on the phrasing to make it smooth and not choppy, as well as we're going to trick our fingers into playing a little bit faster. The Lyrical Etude is also from the Weissenborn Practical Method for Bassoon. It's number 23, and it's marked at quarter note equals 68. Be sure with each of your etudes that you're using a metronome on an 8th note or a 16th note subdivision, and then work to internalize that subdivision as you practice. This etude utilizes some ornamentation. The small notes with slashes through them prior to notes are called short appoggiaturas or acciacchiaturas. Those are to be played before the beat. Again, it is important to be consistent with tone, tempo, pitch, and play correct and accurate dynamics and articulations. Be aware that there are also some half-hold notes in this etude as well. So you're going to want to make sure that you're using an appropriate amount of half-hold to produce a solid tone, no cracking. It's also utilizing the venting and the flicking in order to make sure that your A's, B's, and C's also are produced with full tone. This next section is forte. I want you to think of forte as full, not forced or loud. I would take the repeat on this etude. Next section, we repeat back to piano. The audition requirements don't say whether or not you should take the repeat, so I would take the repeat unless you were told differently when you arrive for the audition. I hope that you found these tips and tricks helpful, and I wish you the best of luck on your auditions.